Hey there folks, welcome to this video. Now I might be a little bit late to the game with this, especially because this happened well over a week ago now. But I've been thinking a bit about the WRC fan survey that was put out, EA Sports WRC fan survey. And especially because I saw Overtake.gg do something that I'd been thinking last week. I might want to do a video on it, and well, they kind of beat me to the punch with their article. Really good article on it, I'll link it down below. And it largely looks at the kind of stuff that I was looking at, which is they asked fans how interested they would be in certain features, which some of which were in Dirt Rally 2, some of which were in the original Dirt Rally. So, and some of them aren't. So one of them said, additional features customized by liveries. Now obviously for me, what I'd want is to have livery templates, like what you can use in iRacing or ACC, and actually throughout the survey they refer to iRacing as a simulator that people might have experience in, which I think is a really good thing to do, because at the end of the day, iRacing has been able to succeed, and ACC has been able to succeed in ways that other annual installments like F1 haven't, because you just release new content and people will pay for the DLC passes. I would love to see a way to be able to make it more legit, especially because I don't want to end up accidentally tripping the anti-cheat. Sharing and downloading vehicle tuning setups, that was a thing in the original Dirt Rally, I believe. I'd love to see that again, especially integration of like Workshop or some kind of thing that happens on Codemasters servers. Because, I mean, I just plug and play, but if I ever wanted to be competitive at it, I'd have to, learn how to make setups in this game, because again, it handles so differently to Dirt Rally 2.0. The old setup exploits I knew for Dirt Rally 2.0, and again, I didn't really go into the metas on that. Don't really work. Next thing was sharing creations, which I guess could be things like sharing liveries, maybe sharing like your builder cars, but I wouldn't be too interested in that. But it'd be nice to get some liveries downloaded. Trading paints, I love trading paints for iRacing. The open training area like Dirtfish was in Dirt Rally 2.0, I think that's quite good to have. And it's a shame that we don't have that in WRC, especially because it was something that was great in Dirt Rally 2.0. Editing pace notes, now that would be fantastic, especially because with the fact that it's now based off of, like, you have one command for each corner type. It looks like you should be able to put it on the route, and then it would mean you'd be able to change the severity, and you'd be able to do all kinds of different bits. I would especially love if you could have it so you could tailor a particular class of car. Because for me, I like to have the numbers represent gears. It's one of the reasons why I like the 1 to 6, is because I like to have 6 as 6th gear, 5th as 5th gear, so on and so forth. But you're not able to do that so much when it's a 5-speed and you're doing 1 to 6. So it would be nice to be able to have that. And again, to be able to share that would be cool too. RBR can do it, but honestly with RBR I can't be bothered because it's a lot more long-winded. Whereas if it was like, oh, you can get a map and you can drive through and you can change it, I would love to do that in WRC. And a mode where you can create your own stages. Dirt 4 had that. I loved it. But what I do enjoy about WRC is the fact that they're real-world stages. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea that we could have some custom stage generation stuff as well. But honestly, one of the best things that WRC has at the moment is the fact that all of these stages appear in the real world to some degree. All these roads have featured in WRC stages pretty much. There are some bits that haven't, but have been like service roads. I like it, but I think the only variety is I'd want to see some more shorter ones, some super specials, some of the old other like power stage things, like the Umea sprint stage or Karlstad was previous. Or what's a really good one to think of? I had one that just absolutely just slipped my mind. Like the Tartu one that we had at Estonia that was in WRC titles gone by. Those bits are fun. Sure, they're Mickey Mouse, but they add extra elements because not everybody, and I mean, I love the fact that we have 30-kilometer stages. I don't do them that much because not everybody wants to do them. Not everyone wants to do them all the time, especially when they were looking for a plug-and-play experience. Anyways, I've gone for 5 minutes, and I wanted to do this bit more, so hopefully they go on for much longer. They were asking about how likely to purchase or follow additional content, which was locations and tracks, vehicles, licensed cosmetics like liveries, decals, and racing suits, and original or fictional cosmetics. So, again, liveries, decals, and racing suits. And for me, this is a big deal because there were lots of rumours that this was going to be the first in a series, and this was going to be like the other WRC games, all like F1, where it's annual installments. And honestly, I wouldn't mind that too much, especially because it's much cheaper than the F1 games, which I'm not sure if I'm picking up F1 24. I might pick up F1 Manager 24 because I skipped 23, but I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up F1 24 just yet. And then, yeah, I like the idea of this being updates, especially if they add in things like APRC, more predominantly ERC, because WRC Pro has licenses for that, and you have more and more rallies in there. Like I've said before, one of the things I loved about the WRC Generations game is it chucked in a bunch of rallies that they'd had licenses to in the past, and some which they just picked up randomly, like San Remo. And so you could have Ypres, you could have other rallies like Australia, you could have New Zealand. It was great to have all of these different events in WRC Generations and WRC 10. And the only thing that I'd wished was that they added in some of the stages that they didn't keep in other WRC titles, like some of the older Germany ones or some of the older Portugal ones, where they changed them over time. But more vehicles would also be nice to have as well. And honestly, if the 2024 update was like a 10-15 quid pack like you see in, say, ACC, I think that's a great model to go off of. I honestly think that that kind of model is better than an F1. But then WRC isn't as money grabby as F1. So maybe part of the reason why they have to do an annual F1 release is because F1 have said that they have to. Whereas if WRC haven't said that they have to do that, as long as they keep doing this and keep building on the game, I think it will be great. I've got a few friends who don't like WRC and much rather be back at Dirt Rally 2. But for me, as somebody who's spent nearly 100 hours in it and is continuing to get used to it, I love it. Sure, it's not perfect. Sure, there are things that can still be improved. I mean, they're still doing balancing stuff. They recently bopped the Rally 1 so that the Toyota wasn't so overpowered. But yeah, I hope they do continue to work with this game, because I think that platform is better, and I think that the rallying fan base is happier with something like that than with the annual releases everyone can come to expect. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.